Hey everybody, I am live on my very first Periscope. I don't know what's going on with the lighting. I'm so sorry guys. I'm gonna try to get into the sunshine here, or well, I'm sorry guys if you can't see me that well. I'll be live tweeting also during this, so if you see me kind of switch over, I'm switching over to my Twitter. I'm just letting everybody know that I'm on live now. Give me 1 second. Now, let me explain and let me apologize. I'm outside, of course, as you can see, doing this Periscope. There's traffic nearby, so I apologize for the sound of that. But sorry, guys. I really want you to do this because I wanted to do this because I'm on Twitter all the time and I talk about the different things that small businesses encounter and things that I think people like to talk about. Now, a lot of you who know me already know I've been an entrepreneur for 20 years. More than 20 years. Oh my God. Yeah, more than 20 years. Since 1994 when I opened my first business. So 21 years I opened my first business. I've had several businesses since then. You guys know about Empower Me, which started in 1998, and it's kind of evolved and grown and blah, blah, blah. I won't go into all of that. If you want my bio, go to empowerme.org. And this is killing me with this sunshine, guys. I'm sorry. Let me see if I can get into some light for you here. Probably not. Okay, I'm going to do the best I can, so just bear with me, guys. So, empowerme.org is my website. You could go ahead and check on there. And I have been so enthusiastic and so passionate about small business ownership and entrepreneurship and things like that. Hi, Carla. Thank you for retweeting my Periscope. Carla Jenkins, you guys need to follow her, Miss Phenom, on Twitter. She is one of my, oh my God, one of my loyal listeners, subscribers, followers, virtual mentees, whatever you want to call it. And thank you so much. I really, really appreciate you for always having my back. So with that said, I'm very passionate about entrepreneurship. I'm very passionate about small business ownership done right. Some of you know I'm an accelerator mentor. Shout out to Straight Shot Accelerator over in Omaha, Nebraska. I love those guys. And I enjoy thoroughly helping and guiding and watching and mentoring these young startups who are kind of, to me, like baby chicks in the nest, and seeing the phenomenal explosive growth that they have achieved after going through an accelerator. Some, flailed a little bit, but I chose to take that off, away from the accelerator after the accelerator was over, and guide them and mentor them and continue to be a mentor. Some of you know I'm also a brand new investor. So I like to make sure that, anybody who's investing money in anything, a business, stock, or whatever, you want to make sure it performs. So I feel it's my obligation and my duty to help small businesses perform, to help them meet those goals, generate revenue. Without money, we're not in business. Without customers, we're not in business. And I see a lot of people who come out on Twitter, and I get a lot of like LinkedIn and emails and things like that. And people are asking me, hey, can you check out my new business, my new product, my new service? Can you, I'll give you a free beta test and this and that. And it's great. I love to do it. But I tell people, when you ask me to beta test something, I'm going to be brutally honest. Not to be mean, but because I want you to do it the right way. I want to see it done the right way. Now, there's different levels to small business ownership, entrepreneurship, and there's some great people out there that have these programs. I'll name, like Ali Brown has a good program for, I guess, if you're a startup and you're trying to learn how to market and build your presence online and things like that. There is Fabian Fredrickson, who does client attraction. It's all about how to market and get the right clients. And a lot of people, variety is too many people to name. But eventually you get to where you are beyond startup phase. I'm way past startup phase for many things. Now, I have a new venture, Curvy Girl Closet. You guys know I launched it last year, still in startup phase. And yeah, that's still in startup phase. But for me, being an owner of other businesses, the learning curve has been shortened for me. So it's easier for me, but there are a lot of people out there that this is their first business and they don't know what to do, how to grow, how to scale, how to do it responsibly, who to connect with, who to partner with. And I'm hoping that I'm that person that can kind of bridge that gap. Anybody can start a business. Not everyone can grow a business and sustain a business. You know, you look at the success of Guilt Group, you look at the success of Facebook, you look at the success of Airbnb, you look at Uber, you look at Lyft, you look at all of these companies that are making it big, and it's like, how did they do that? They were just lucky. They got funding, they got this, they got that. Maybe in some cases. Sometimes an idea is great, but it needs polishing in order for someone to invest in it. And not just invest in terms of money, but invest your time, invest their resources, invest their referrals too. And this is what I call the unsexy side of business. You know, we see those glamour articles about so-and-so got $100 million investment, or this company got $3 million investment. And everybody's always left wondering, well, how did they do that? I'll tell you how they do that. Found and tested their right client market, that right target base. They had a company that was scalable. You know, it's all right to be a one-person shop. Can it still sustain the same momentum at a 50-person shop? You know, is it targeting the right clients? Is it generating revenue? Free is not a business model. I don't care what anybody tells you. Free is great to get people to know you and to introduce you, but I will find you, I will hunt you down, and I will sit on you to get you to change the freebie model. Free is not a business model. It doesn't make you any money. It builds goodwill, it builds good karma, and that's great. But when you're building a business where you're generating jobs, employing people, where you are sustaining your own life, building your company, you have to make money. You have to generate revenue. You know, and I've been that's right, free is not a business model. Tweet that, Miss Fina. I'm trying to pay attention to you guys and not Twitter. But, you know, free is not a business model, but it's my goal and my objective to make sure that small businesses are profitable. You know, I want people to understand what it takes to make money, what it takes to be successful, what it takes to build a brand that people trust and people know and people want to champion. You know, one of the things, and I'm not promoting today, this is not a self-promotion kind of thing, but I will plug Incubate to Accelerate. I know you guys saw me talk about this on Twitter and Facebook and all over the place. But Incubate to Accelerate is a little different. I love accelerators. I think they're great. I just personally, my own personal opinion, think that 90 days is not enough time to build a company that is solid enough to convince investors. Some can do it, not all can do it. So I'm here to fill that gap where people can't do it. I've had people who have gone to accelerators and not gotten a dime of investment money. They couldn't understand why. It was, I worked hard. Was your company scalable? Could it generate revenue? Could it be profitable? Can you expand your market base? People weren't looking at that. It was, I'm going into this, I'm going to do my best, and I'm going to get money. Well, I like to slow it down and pull back the reins a little bit and have people focus on the infrastructure, the solid core, the base of their company. For Incubate Accelerate is 6 months. First 3 months is incubate stage. And that's where we're going. Tear your business down to the studs. Figure out what can be improved, what needs to be done, what needs to be added, what needs to be deleted, what needs to be refined. And then accelerate mode, the next 3 months, we're focusing on getting your company investment ready. That's the best I can tell you. If you want to learn more about it, go to ia.empowerme.org and you'll learn all about it. And look at the facts, the FAQs, before you put in the application. The applications are free, but the program is not. So I'll just leave it there. So what I want to focus on today more so is your mindset. There's going to be many, many more Twitter chats and Periscopes and things like that. This is my first Periscope, and as you can see, the back, it's dark, and I apologize for that, guys. There's going to be many more Periscopes that I'm going to do. But what I want to impress upon you guys today is getting you in that mindset. Think bigger. You know, I asked a question on Twitter. I said, if every barrier was removed, there was no money, no time constraint, no space constraints, what would you do to grow your company. Notice I said company, not business. There's a difference. I love small biz. I love small business, but you have to decide if it's going to be small business forever or if it's going to be small business with the intention of growing. Look at, I hate to use reality stars as an example, but look at Bethany Frankel's Skinny Girl. She was a small biz. She had herself. Thank you, Eddie. There's trucks going by. I'm sorry, guys, for the noise. But she was small at first. But then she had to figure out a way to replicate that success and grow the company. Yeah, she got 100, well, we don't know the exact numbers, but a multi-million-dollar investment from Jim Beam for her Skinny Girl cocktails. But that didn't stop her. She still has skinny wear attire, lingerie, or day wear, or whatever you want to call it. She has products, and I see them when I go to Walmart and Target and all that, the popcorn and the drinks, the different energy drinks and whatever she has. But my point is, she scaled, she grew. Look at Martha Stewart. Martha Stewart started as going to different, malls, having people buy slices of her pie. She's a conglomerate now. So, there are also companies that started small, that are still small business, but they're hitting it out the park. You can be a 3-person shop making multi-million dollars. That's what I'm trying to get across to you guys. You don't have to think, okay, I'm small biz, I have to make $100,000 in a year, or $200,000 a year, or $500,000 a year. Shoot high. Aim for the stars. The worst that can happen is you miss, you try again. That is what entrepreneurship is all about. You keep hitting it and keep trying it. Look at the Venus and Serena, the Williams sisters. Man, if they just gave up whenever they lost, where would they be today? And let me just, as a side note, those sisters are impressive because not only are they on their game with their tennis, look at the businesses that they built. Look at those businesses. They have built fashion lines. They have built all kind of things. They've done endorsements. These ladies are set, and I'm so very proud of them. So proud of them. So it's all in how you decide how you're going to do it. And guys, I'm sorry about this shading, the lighting in here. I'm sitting under a thing, so I apologize for being dark right now. I'm trying to get a good light so I can talk to you guys. But anyway, your mindset is something. If you had no constraints, what would you do? What would you do? How would you go about growing your company? And a lot of people cannot understand it. Hey, Leader Ish, what's up? Hey, Francina, long time no see, career engineer. Make sure you guys follow Career Engineer on Twitter. Tell her I sent you. What would you do if there were no constraints? And I hate it when people stop short, because what's that old saying that when you're digging and you stop, couple of inches more and you would have struck gold? How many people give up? How many people throw away the shovel and say, oh, forget it? Don't do that. Think big. Now, I'm going to break down 3 of the myths for you guys. Hey, Virginia Beach, what's going on? See, some of you don't know, and Francina, guess what? I am no longer in Atlanta. I now live in sunny Florida. Well, it's partly sunny, as you can see from the sky. So, yeah. But anywho, so the 3 obstacles, I'm going to break this down because I don't ever want to hear going forward these things as a barrier. You was just in Florida, Career Engineer, Francina. Oh, I'm mad. You got to let me know when you come back. So here's the first one. The number one thing that people find as a barrier is money. No matter who you are, no matter where you are, we all know Florida. I'm looking at guys typing, not paying attention. No matter who you are, everybody says money is the biggest issue that they have. I'm going to stop you right there. Money is energy. Money is acquirable. I learned something. I have a mentor, and some of you don't know that I got my real estate license in June this year. Not to open a real estate company. I'm not opening another company like that, or working with a Keller Williams or anything like that. I just decided because I'm going to be investing in real estate, and that's going to be a different business for me. So anyway, money, a mentor of mine, a real estate mentor of mine said, if you find a good enough deal, the money will come. And I thought about it, and I said, you know what? That is transferable to business, to entrepreneurship. It really is. Because think about it. Look at the people who get okay, maybe I shouldn't say it like that. I was going to say, look at the people who get investment dollars. But we all know there's some ideas out there that people throw money at that it's like, really? And you shake your head like, what the hell? How did they get money? I know. I've seen it. You've seen it. But think about it. If the project, if the company, if the product, if even the owners, if people take heart in the owners, you see it every day on Shark Tank. You see it on West Texas Investors Club. I love that new show. I hope you guys watch that. It's W Texas Investors is on Twitter, so make sure you follow them. And of course, you guys know Shark Tank ABC. But you look at it, and they will, if they believe enough in the owner, the founder, they'll put their investment dollars in. Now, that is not the rule of thumb. That's the exception, not the rule. And I don't want you guys thinking, I'm a good person so I can get some investment money. It doesn't work like that. If the product, the service, the company is something that they believe in and it's a good deal and they see that long term they can make money from investing money in this business to help it scale and grow. Later, Francine, I'll catch up with you later. If they see that it's a good investment, they will put their money in. So, hence what I meant, money will come to a good deal. Never let money be the defining issue. If you have enough people that believe in you and that want to invest in you, you will get the money. Don't let that be a barrier, okay? The other part of that is, and I'm going to turn all Susie Orman on you guys, is have a budget. Have a savings account that you put on the side. I don't care if it's $20 a week, $100 a month, $1,000 a month, whatever it is. Put some money on the side. And you also have to make sure that you are what? Generating revenue. Do not give away anything because that's cutting into your money. So all of that falls under the money constraints that I want people to understand that they don't have to have that constraint. Second thing people say is time. Time is a valuable commodity of which I don't have a lot of. And if any of you out there know how to bottle time, please let me know and test it. And if it works, I will invest my own money in it. Hey, Sarah, how you doing? But, time is a constraint, but it's all in how you manage and budget your time. I was a single mom, going to school, running a business, and still managed to get things done. Even when I had, it took me long enough. Even when I had like 2 businesses at a time, because you guys know I don't do just one business. I have my hands in multiple things. I still managed to carve out my days unless there was some kind of emergency or something happened where I had to stop what I was doing and take care of that. But you got to learn to manage your time better. Time can be structured so that you can eliminate that as an obstacle. I've known many people who were working day jobs and started a company on the side. And even if it meant that they got 4 hours of sleep, which I don't advocate, they still managed to turn around and make it work. Put yourself on a schedule. I'm going to work this full-time job for this amount of months. After this, I'm going full-time. And then you dedicate hard, 100% to that business. But start managing your time in the very beginning and make it a habit. And once it's a habit, hello, Praiseworks. Once it's a habit, the time thing won't be a problem. It won't be a constraint for you anymore. The last obstacle that I mentioned is space. Automation, teamwork, interns, volunteers, partners, JV, all of that can help you with the space situation. Everybody doesn't have to run out and get an office space or a warehouse or whatever. There are so many things you can do with automation online, for instance. I didn't have to set up a room and get refreshments and feed all of you guys and have you come down to hear me speak. I'm doing it on the web. As a matter of fact, I'm doing it here at a Panera Bread, which I'll let you guys see real quick. See? Can you see the signs or whatever? But I'm sitting here outside because I'm using technology. Technology can be your best friend. A lot of things you can put on automation. You can hire people part-time if you can't afford full-time. You can hire freelancers. All of that eliminates the need for you to have office space because people can work out of their own spaces. The other thing is you can properly look at what you want to do. Distribution. You can fix your distribution so that you're not having anything come back. Thank you, Zara. You can do drop shipping if you have products so that you're never having any inventory come to your house. There's outsourcing. I have clients that outsource things to me, like for instance RPO services, which is recruitment process outsourcing, because they don't want to take the time to place ads, interview people, get resumes, screen them, and blah blah blah. So they outsource it to my company, so they don't have to have someone come on site and have extra space for them. So don't let space be a constraint for you, because it really is not. It's a non-issue. And my first business, I'm going to share this, and many of you probably noticed already. I started my first company from home. I was on my couch and a coffee table with my laptop, my first MacBook, and the phone books. This is before I had, first I started with a word processor, but we're not going to talk about that because y'all not going to talk about my age. But yeah, I'm 46, but whatever. But then I got a laptop and I started that way. When I moved into another apartment, I had a sunroom, what you call a sunroom, and dedicated that as an office space. Of course, it spilled out to the rest of the place. Then when I moved into my house, I was lucky enough to have a dedicated office where I put everything in there. And then when my son moved out, I turned his room into a media room. And that's where I did all my podcasts and all that other stuff. He can't ever come home. But, and here in Florida, I'm in an apartment, so I still have my home in Atlanta. So if I need to do videos and stuff, I'll go out there. Yeah, MacBook Pro. That's right, Zara. It's the way it's supposed to be. But, my next home in Florida, that is, I'm making sure that I have enough space where I can have an office. But for those of you who don't have office space, you can be kitchen table. There's a book, I think a book called Kitchen Table Entrepreneur. Kitchen table, spare bedroom, sunroom. I work out on my balcony, my deck back in Atlanta. There's so many places you can work. You don't have to have an office space. And if you absolutely need a space to meet people, save yourself some time and energy, and you can always go ahead and get, what is it called, Regis, or one of the co-working spaces, and you can pay a little bit a month and if you really need a space. But don't let space be an inhibitor for you. Okay, so I just gave you the three things: time, money, and space. That I just knocked that out for you. So now you have no excuse for not being able to start a business or run a business or grow a business. At least I didn't say Apple too. No, but I'll tell you what I did say. See, now they're teasing me, guys. For those of you who don't know, I'm looking at the comments as they come up, and they're teasing me about the old computers that I had. And I'm not ashamed. I had a Tandy 128K from Radio Shack that my daddy bought me as my very first computer. So that shows you how tapped in I am into the tech world and how much of a techie I am. I went old school on you. And no, I don't still have it. But anyway, my goal is to have you guys, have everybody, all small businesses, grow and scale responsibly and do it the right way. And to make you understand that you're going to encounter struggles. I'm not going to tell you like some of these gurus or whatever you put out there that, it's easy to start a business from the beach. Sometimes I work from the lake, but that took years to get there. And it took not even the time. What I'm going to honestly say is it took putting the right systems in place and my process. And I can work at the lake. I can work at Panera Bread. I can work at Starbucks. I can work at home or wherever. Space is not a determinant of my success. So I want you to be able to grow and scale successfully. And I want you to not be afraid to think big. When I was asking about topics for this Periscope, and I'm about to wrap this up in about 8 minutes. I don't want to go too long. But when I was asking for suggestions for topics, everyone defaulted to the marketing, how to get more listeners, content creation. Big thoughts go beyond that, and there's nothing wrong with that. But you guys could go on my Blog Talk Radio show, the archives. You can go to my podcast. You could go to my blog, my articles I've written online. I've talked about that already. I don't want to revisit that. We're talking next level. We want to go bigger. We want to go better, badder even. So I'm going to put this to you guys. What is it that it's going to take to make you take your business to the next level? You got to look inward. You got to look inside your company. Look at what's not working or what's broken or what needs to be fixed or enhanced or amplified or whatever. You need to look internally first. What kind of processes do you have in place? What kind of team do you need? Have any of you even thought about workforce planning of what it would take to scale your business? Because you don't have to hire right now. And one of the things I work with my clients on, some of my clients on, is workforce planning and charting it out. For this amount of growth, I need this amount of employees. And we figure out that formula, and it's not the same for everybody. As the owner, as a CEO, and I'm going to tell you right now to your face, You might not like it. You can't do everything. Excuse me. I learned, excuse me, guys. I've learned that. I am not chief cook, bottle cleaner, garbage taker, mopper, sweeper, whatever. I can't be all things to all people and everything for my business. In the beginning, that's fine, that's cute. Everybody's on this, hey, I got this cape on my back, I have the Superman on my chest. I could do it all. As you grow, you need people. You need to have the right people who have the right skills that can complement your business and help it grow and scale responsibly. And a lot of people are afraid to have that conversation. It's dirty, having to think about hiring people and taxes and all that other stuff. But you know what? Here's what I say. And this is what people start talking about. Oh, well, I need a marketing budget. I need money to do this. Or I need money to do this. The right talent, the right skill, the right people will make money for your business. Okay? You think Mark Zuckerberg, after he built Facebook, do you think he's the one that's sitting there and doing all the coding behind the scenes and fixing and adding dislike buttons? And I'm so glad he's putting that on there. But doing all this stuff? No. As he grew, he hired the right people. I'd be surprised if Mark is even in the office more than twice a week. I don't know him. I've never met him, but you never know. My goal as a business owner has been and always will be to make sure my company is self-sustaining, that it can function without me. If I decide, and you guys know I'll disappear for a while and take a break from recording or whatever it is, but I look at it like this. He'd probably break Facebook if I know, right? He probably would break it. But I can take time away and have other people handle things for me. Not all of my businesses are like that. My newest business with the real estate investing, that's me. Me and I partner with my son. But so it's just the two of us, but that's brand new. We already have a plan to scale that out so that we can pull away from that. Curvy Girl Closet, I have interns that are working for me right now, that once we kind of get up to a level where I want it to be, where it's profitable, it's generating cash flow, but it's not profitable. Once we get to a profitable level, then I'm going to hire people on to do what they need to do, and I'm not going to mess with that anymore. Now, I like the shopping part of it, don't get me wrong, but, as a business owner, you can't do everything, and you guys need to have these hard conversations with yourselves and with your partners and your team or whoever is working with you, and figure out, where do I really want this company to go? How do I want it to grow? And that is why you guys go and see my tweets and things like that, and how I go so hard about things that small businesses should know. Yes, you should know marketing. Yes, you should know social media, but that's so minuscule, because if your company is broken, if you're not generating revenue, if you're not getting the right customers who will spend the money, and you're chasing after dollars, then you don't have a functioning company. You don't have a company that's capable of growing and scaling. So that is why I go so hard about small business ownership and entrepreneurship. And I really hope that you guys join me for future Periscopes. This was my first one, so I really just kind of winged it. And I didn't have a set format, but I wanted to make sure that you guys understood where I was coming from. That you understand the intent behind my tweets and Facebook posts and all my social media shares. But, this Incubate to Accelerate, this is the second cycle for it. The first one is still in progress. We had it for a year. We had it for a year, and I decided to shrink it down to 6 months because it's just too much time. And I want to be able to get it condensed and do what needs to be done so that people still catch on. Thank you, Eddie. So that's why I'm doing the second cycle. But as far as working with my clients, for people who don't need to go through Incubate to Accelerate, I focus on that stuff, the team building, the workforce planning, the operations strategies, the revenue generation, customer experience, all of that stuff, because I think that if you don't focus on the internal of your company, you're going to stifle your growth. You can market, and some of you have heard me say this, and I hope nobody gets offended by me saying this now. You can't market crap. You can put a pretty bow on it, but it's still crap. You can't market crap. So I see a lot of people marketing crap, and they'll get that initial hit, and people come looking at it. But then when they see what the content is and they see the what it entails, it's like, that's not for me. You got to make sure the internals are working, that you can deliver, that you can meet objectives, that you can build customer experience, and you want basically your company to be able to sell itself. Nobody has to advertise to me to buy a pair of Nikes. I've used them. I've gotten them enough to know that Nike is the shoe of choice for me. Nobody has to badger me to get Coach. You know what? Because let's see, my Coach bag here, and here's my Coach backpack here. They didn't have to advertise that to me because it's a good product. It's quality. You know, it's a solid company. Not to mention, I am an investor. I do own Coach stock, so let me put that disclaimer out there. But, you know, you have to change your mindset. When you start a business, you're at one level. When you're ready to build a company, that's a whole other level that some people, quite frankly, are not ready for. It's not being mean. It's just the fact of life. There's a helicopter flying overhead. But anyway, so Red Shoe Agency, I'm doing that unofficially. That's Black Girl Tech asked if I'm still doing Red Shoe Agency. I've kind of combined that into my one brand, so we can talk about that offline, and I'll give you some more information about that. But you know, if you're not on that next level thinking about my company, you're always going to stay on that hamster wheel. You're never going to get any traction. You maybe hit 500,000, maybe even $1 million or 2 million. But then something happens where you plateau. And we don't ever want to see anybody plateau when it comes to sales. So you got to keep the juices going. You got to keep bringing on the talent. You got to keep exploring other options and making sure that you are building a company. And that takes a whole other mindset. That is really and truly where you go from business owner to CEO. Because the CEO does what? Not every job in the book. Exactly. It's a strategic unit instead of an independent company. It's a strategic entity. There's strategic units to a business. And, you know, I believe that we all can do it if we have the right tools, if we have the right people guiding us, and if we're open and receptive to doing things differently. You got to challenge yourself. You got to push yourself out of the box. You got to push yourself to get as uncomfortable as possible. There are things that my mentors tell me I don't like to hear. You know, when they told me, you know, scrap the magazine for now, it made business sense. I didn't get rid of it altogether. I just had to figure out a new way to infuse it into the company. You know, build the company first, then you start expanding it out and doing different products and different services. So that's all I have for today, really. And I'm glad you guys did tune in, and I appreciate your support and all the hearts. I saw the hearts going up. I don't know how that works, but thank you anyway. And I don't know, I'll probably do another one next week. Maybe I'll make this a weekly thing. Next time, maybe I'll come to you from Disney World. I don't know. Or the lake or Universal City. I don't know. I just like to be in different environments. If you have any questions, shoot me an email at info@empowerme.org. Or you can go on to Twitter @TalentDiva, of course. I'm on Facebook. Twitter and email are probably the best ways to get me quicker at me. I don't check the DMs that often because it's a lot of spam. But, you know, shoot me some comments. Ask me some questions. You know, if there's anything that I can work with you with. And let me just say, I'm not cheap. So I'm just putting it out there. But anything that I can work with you with. I mean, I want to see the next guild groups. I want to see the next LearnVest. I want to see the next Airbnb. I want to see the next Facebook. I want to see the next Burger King, whatever. I want to see you guys get big. I want to see you guys grow and scale. And I'm here to help that. You know, anything about starter stuff or entry-level stuff, you can go to my podcast, blogtalkradio.com/views from the top. That's no longer there. I did launch my new podcast, Adrienne. It's on Podomatic now, and I'm going to be posting the first episode today. That's going to be a weekly thing. Little quick clips that I'm going to put out there, kind of going and telling my thing. But who knows? I mean, I'm still kind of reinventing, and you never know where I'm going to take things next. But I really appreciate you guys' support and the long-time supporters, of course. And I appreciate you guys having my back always. So with that said, have a great weekend. Get out there and rock it. And make sure you say hi on Twitter. And I'll catch you guys next time.